Okay. So she's crying out. Verse 17, and God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven. That's so cool. Hey! Called out to Hagar out of heaven and said to her, what ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad. That's still kind of comprehend that. Lift up the lad and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. Lift him up. It's almost like you're just picking up a baby. That's what.
Yeah.
I've always,
I mean, how much does a 15-year-old weigh?
It's
80, 90 pounds?
Depending. Yeah.
And they weren't on the standard American diet, so maybe 45, 50 pounds. Still, for a 60-year-old woman, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some 60-year-old women can, but that's a lot.
And like I just said, this woman has talked to Hagar. This woman has talked with God more than most. More than Sarah has. I mean, directly speaking.
Yeah.
Abraham's talked to him more, I'm sure. But I mean, she's on the same as Abimelech. I mean, well, no, Abimelech just had a dream. So more than Abimelech. So there's something going on here. If he's directly communicating with this woman, she probably doesn't realize, the importance of this at the time.
I don't know.
Where we can see it because she's about to give up. We know what's going to happen, but she didn't know.
Yeah, but
so she's probably lost some faith in this because they're about to die.
Yeah, I just see that's another thing. I can't grasp, I can't wrap my head around it. When the angel of the Lord, when God Himself talks to you, when the second person of the Trinity, incarnate in some pre-incarnate fashion, shows up to you in flesh and blood,
face to face,
there has to be something that goes, okay, yes sir, like there's a weightiness to it. There's
Sarah's seen all this and she still lost faith.
Yeah, true.
So,
I'm sorry. I've been up since 1:30 a.m. So I apologize.
And again, scenarios that could be reasons going throughout. But she's, because we see it, because we know what's happening. It's hard for us to comprehend how God would. I'd fall down dead if God was to speak to me verbally or show up in front of me and start talking to me.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. How all of this is going about, and then the fact of this 15-year-old not being able. It's almost like he can't take care of himself. Like you said, maybe he was sickly. Because she's supporting him somehow, and then God tells her, "Pick him up. Let's get this show on the road, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen."
Yeah, I mean, she must not have had osteoporosis.
Yeah,
I can tell you,
so
some strong bones on that one.
Verse 18. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. So he's given a promise. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. Whoop, whoop.
What did I say?
Right there.
What did I just say?
Right across the street. It's right across the street. Then you see this woman, and then she went and filled the skin with water and gave the lad a drink. So God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer.
Mm.
He dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. So, as you said, they were very close to Egypt, where she was from. And as you said about him becoming an archer, having to become stronger. If he was sickly, he had to get built up. Something happened between God showing them the well and her getting a wife for him. Don't know if you know what is the ruling. Well, I guess it would be different because they're from Egypt. I'm sitting here answering my own questions. Okay. What would be the ruling for her to get him a wife if she has no money to pay a dowry for?
Well,
Unless she went to the Pharaoh at the time, who may or may not be a different Pharaoh now. It would have been her brother.
yeah.
And maybe she asked to get a loan, give me some money, help me get a wife for my son.
Yeah. Take care of me the way you're supposed to, brother.
So, what do you think? What's your thoughts on the fact of a dowry being paid by somebody who does not have a father present?
So I think, sometimes the Bible compresses time, and we don't notice it till way later. But she's not marrying off a 15-year-old, obviously. We know later on in Israel, a man would have gotten married around 30, give or take. He would have had to establish himself in his career and been able to show that he can provide. I don't think that was strictly an Israeli thing. I don't think that was strictly a certain period in time thing. It would make sense that even here, in this time, it would have been something similar. Maybe not 30, maybe 20, 25, whatever.
Right.
So,
well, it talks about God was with the lad and he grew.
yeah.
And he dwelt in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So I agree. I would think that he'd be at least in his mid to upper 20s.
Yeah.
When she decided to get him a wife.
I think, of course, this is just a theory, but he grew up in the wilderness of Paran. I don't think she ever went back to her father's house. I think she took her bride price, her bride money, and the dowry that she would have brought with her to Abraham's house. She would have taken it out with her. And, but she wasn't given as a wife necessarily, so maybe she didn't have a dowry herself. But since he slept with her, since they were intimate, he would have given her, like I said, a bride's price anyways when he sent her away. I think she took that and invested it wisely. She probably learned something from Abraham herself while she was with him for those 25 or so years. And she's a strong woman. She brought him through the desert despite some hiccups, and they're still living in the wilderness, and they're thriving. So I'm guessing that she probably started her own flock, and he might have helped her a little bit with that, but apparently he learned how to be an archer from whoever and became proficient enough to be called an archer. You know, I can play with a bow and arrow. I'm not an archer. I have an arrow. I have a bow somewhere. I've. I don't think I've ever actually taken it out and practiced with it either. Like, it's a 70-pound bow. It's. I don't know. It's too much for my achy bones anymore. But you know, he was good enough to call himself an archer. He probably used every piece of the animal, including the hide. He might have sold the hide for things, and made enough money to give gifts to the family and a dowry. Technically, the family would give the dowry. He would give a bride's price. So it's same and different at the same time. But yeah,